What is up, my powerful mates of YouTube? My name is Aussie Marcel, and in today's video we're going to be looking at two popular men's fragrances, Dolce & Gabbana K, the EDT, and the EDP. So if that sounds good to you, let's get into the video.
Die Verbrennung der
As always, we're going to be starting off with my fragrance of the day, and this also happens to be the first fragrance we'll be talking about, and that's Dolce & Gabbana's K, the EDT. This is the Eau de Toilette, and this has received, from what I've seen online, a lot of backlash. There's a lot of people that are against this fragrance, and I honestly don't understand why. Packaging, it is a nice bottle design with the crown and all that. I wrote some notes for this video last night and I've ended up putting them in the bin, but the thing is, Dolce & Gabbana with the K line of fragrances have done what Paco Rabanne have done really well, and that is come up with a fragrance bottle design that really captures people's attention. When you think of Paco Rabanne, you think of 1 million, you think of the gold bar design, and that's iconic. Here in Australia, most men, if they do own a fragrance, they're gonna own Paco Rabanne's 1 million, even though that is not the greatest fragrance. K is similar. Look at the bottle design. Just look at that. The crown, it's got the big K logo. It captures your attention, it really does. There's a lot to this fragrance that if it sits on a shelf, if you put K on a shelf next to the bottle, it stands out with that massive, heavy, weighty crown. It's just very masculine. It's got something that just, like I said before, grabs your attention. And so in regards to the advertising and the way they present the fragrance, Dolce & Gabbana have done something really well here. Because when you think of Dolce & Gabbana, you don't necessarily think of men's fragrances. What do they have? They've got Dolce & Gabbana the One, and apart from that, nobody really talks about their scents, even though things like Light Blue Intense and Intenso are good fragrances in their own right. But K, the EDT, first off, you've got the presentation and it just stands out. Now, as for the fragrance itself, I am wearing this. I can understand people saying it smells generic. It does have that typical masculine quality to it. But is that such a bad thing? In a world where overly sweet, saccharine men's fragrances like Paco Rabanne's 1 million exist, is it such a bad thing when a fragrance like K comes onto the scene that smells typically masculine? It's not overly sweet, it's aromatic, it's green, it's a little fresh, you've got a hint of citrus in the opening that just gives it that vibrancy. Is this such a bad thing? This is sort of like a bit of a throwback to simpler times in men's fashion and fragrances. The industry has trended very much, it's lent very much into the sweeter side of men's fragrances, and I don't necessarily agree with that. K is obviously not going to impress somebody that spends their life on Fragrantica looking for the next niche powerhouse. This is for your everyman. This is for the common Joe, the everyday Joe. This is just a fragrance that smells good, that you can chuck on, that offers solid performance. It smells solid. It's solid across the board. It isn't a fancy oud scent. It isn't this potent leather note. It doesn't have any of that. There's sort of no thrills to a fragrance like K, the EDT. It is, and that's enough. And that's why I really like this fragrance. Compliments for K. You're going to get compliments in a country like Australia where mainstream fragrances are more popular than niche fragrances. Don't get me wrong, I still get a lot of compliments when I wear something like something a little more challenging like Black Orchid or Ombre Leather or any number of fancy oud fragrances. But if you really want to smell great and get compliments, then you're going to gravitate towards a scent like K, the EDT. So again, it's aromatic, it's masculine, it's a little old-fashioned in just the way it presents a sort of masculine scent. It doesn't smell old school like, what fragrance did I talk about last time? Ralph Lauren Safari. It doesn't smell old school, it just sort of presents a more an old school masculine idea and ideal. If you're just after basic compliments and you're under the age of 30, go with K the EDT. The performance is solid, don't listen to the reviews. Obviously, your skin chemistry is going to be different to mine and to everyone else's, but performance, 3 sprays, 7 hours plus. It's a strong scent, it's aromatic. K the EDT does lean in the direction of Calvin Klein Defy and Dior Sauvage. So if those fragrances appeal to you, this will definitely appeal to you as well. K the Eau de Parfum, on the other hand, it's got a better bottle design, I love the darker colour. And as for the fragrance, this has some unique notes. It's got fig and pimento. The pimento makes the opening quite peppery and spicy, and the fig in the middle, in the heart of the fragrance, gives it this unique sweetness, but don't mistake it for like a really modern sweetness. It's got a subtle sweetness to it. K the Eau de Parfum has a lot going for it. It smells more unique than K the EDT. It performs quite a bit better than it. And K the Eau de Parfum is much less generic than K the EDT. Both of these fragrances though, they smell quite a bit different from one another. So if you're just after a stronger version of the EDT, then the Eau de Parfum is probably not going to appeal to you. This is woodier, spicier and more masculine, whereas K the EDT is more aromatic and fresh. Both of these scents though do lean into that aromatic style though. It's the fig in this that really makes it stand apart. Unique, performance is exceptional with 2 sprays. This one does lean a little stronger, so you can wear less sprays of it. I would recommend K for all seasons, all occasions. It's a very versatile scent. K the EDP I would wear in spring, winter and autumn. I probably wouldn't pull this off in summertime just because the way this one projects, it's quite strong. Honestly though, you can own both of these scents and they both serve a different purpose. What I like about both of these scents is that Dolce & Gabbana have given us 2 scents, 2 distinct scents for 2 different occasions, rather than just give you a stronger version of the Eau de Toilette. Some people probably are going to dislike that. They would rather a stronger version of the more traditional, let's say, the more generic EDT. But the EDP does stand apart and stand on its own. Both of these fragrances are masculine, both of these scents perform decently, and they're both going to get you compliments. The only thing I will add to that is, if you're under 30, K the EDT is the obvious choice, and if you're over 30, the EDP is going to be the more obvious choice. However, if you're after just blind compliments, probably go with the EDT. Then again, it depends on your style. If you dress classy, if you're wearing a lot of business shirts, suits, things like that, the EDP may suit you. But go easy on the sprays with K the EDP, because this one does have a tendency to linger a bit. Both of the K fragrances can be found at Chemist Warehouse for under $100. K the EDP is typically about $100 on the dot, and K the EDT is about $80, and those are for the 100 ml bottles. You'll obviously find the smaller concentration bottles for cheaper, but I wouldn't be recommending those for value. So in conclusion, I'm going to give K the EDT 7 out of 10. This is a solid fragrance. Don't let the elite online fool you. You're going to get compliments for this. You're going to smell great. And who cares what they think? Let them keep their niche fragrances. Let them get their own compliments from the niche community and all of that. And as for K the EDP, being the more interesting of the 2 scents while still retaining that sort of backbone of mainstream appeal, I give this one an 8 out of 10. The fig note in the middle is super unique. It's a little sweet. Just makes it stand apart from other similar fragrances. Both of these scents smell very similar to the Sauvage style scents, but they do stand apart from that. They also remind me of Calvin Klein's Defy. Anyways, if you've ever worn either of these fragrances before, let me know in the comments below. I can't wait to hear from you guys. And until the next video, my name is Ozzy Marcel, and I'll catch you guys around.